Hello, James Maxwell, Supersonic Studios with you, and I wanted to discuss a few things today. Haven't done a video like this in a while. Sorry for the vertical format, but it just happens to work better in this hallway. It's below freezing outside, so this is our workspace for today. Today I wanted to discuss energy management, triangular footwork, and a few other things that just happened to pop into my mind during work today that I think bear repeating. Not sure how much practical effort I'm going to be able to get into here, but we'll discuss it. So starting off with energy management, how I use a whip and how I instruct others to, and how I think others should use a whip is it's like using a whip is like being a fighter pilot, right? We're always aware of what our energy state is. Where's the energy curve? Are we in need of energy? Where can we gain energy? What is the looking forward ahead of us? Where are we going to have to pick up more energy, right? We're always aware of our energy state. And that's really, really super important. Related to that is footwork, which isn't something that a lot of whip people talk about, right? Primarily, they talk about the upper platform. That is to say, the hips and above, right? They're using their shoulders. Anything they're doing lower body, they don't talk about it. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Primarily the triangular footwork that I originally learned in volumes 1 and 2 of Mastering the Bullwhip, right? And I've used it not only in my whip work, but it also is heavily influenced by the martial arts that I've trained in. And I think that when it comes to using whips as I use whips, it's really super important. So I just wanted to touch on that briefly. And then also what it does, because just knowing it isn't enough. You have to know why it's done. So I wanted to touch on that briefly. So I'm going to be back here for the whip. By the way, I'm using is the 6-foot Maxwell Special by Louis Fox. It is my shortest target whip that I have, meaning that I can work in this space. So we are going to be working out of primarily, we're going to start with the right hand. I'm right hand dominant, so that is primarily what I'm going to use. And it's just basically, it's a natural step back, 45 degrees, bend the knees, facing this way, right? Normally I have a little bit more room, but we'll work with what we have. So why do we like this? Because we drive everything with our back hip, right? It starts at the floor, moves through our hip. That propels us, whether it's stationary or whether it's moving or whether, right? Everything is here. So why is it important? Well, this does a couple of things. One, if I'm only working on one side of the body, as I said, I drive with this hip. Everything's coming from here. So it's really, really important, right? Everything is here. If I'm working on this side, it's here. Now, triangular footwork comes into play when I want to switch sides. And I need like 6 more inches on this side to really demonstrate this well. But I will shuffle over this way, right? So I'm going to bring my back foot to my front, and then I'm going to scoot my back foot back, mirroring this. What does this do? It does a couple of things. One, pulling my energy from this hip as I want to switch sides. It's pulling that through here, right? That allows me that ability come over here and use that energy to reset up on this side. Vice versa, if I'm extending out this way, this brings my hips with me, right? The other thing that it does is it maintains my range. This is really super important. If I'm working on one side, and I'm not sure how well this is going to work because of where I'm working right now, if I want to set my range on my right side, say, and I get that set there, that's just brushing the camera there. If I then switch my feet, I'm actually going to shuffle over a little bit just because of the space that I'm working on, and I work on the opposite side, my range is the same, right? It doesn't change using triangular footwork. Really important to understand. If I am here, my range doesn't change as I am here. So triangular footwork is very important in keeping the range the same, no matter whether I'm in the backhand or the forehand. When I start messing with that, then my range changes. And if I am working with people, if I am working to a specific point, it's very important that I have the ability to both use the forehand and the backhand, but I keep my range the same. So that's where triangular footwork comes in. Something to play around with. I like it, like I said, if I'm moving from one side of my body, in this case, it's going to be from the backhand to the forehand. I bring that with me. It comes with me, right? That hip drags back and that adds to my energy. Again, it's all about energy management. Really good way to get energy in and out. So what else? that I want to talk about today. In addition to that, let's see here. There's range. There was the triangular footwork. Yeah, just engage the lower platform. It's super, super important when it comes to this type of stuff. But secondly, I wanted to talk about circular and linear motions, all right? In Ed Parker's American Kempo, there is a saying, and that is where circular moves end, linear begins, and where linear moves end, circular begins. And I was thinking about that today with whips, and I see it a lot, right? So let's take like just a basic forward, right? It's not going to do very good because I have to do it here, but circular to linear, right? Where's my circular? My circular starts here with this hip motion, right? This rotation to drive it. There is circular, which then moves. Once the circular ends, the linear begins. There's my linear, my straight out, right? And then from there, there's my circular, right? And you see this in almost all of your figures. You're going to see circular to linear to circular in some form or another. So think about that now too. Where are you finding it? Where are these lines? Where are these circles? How does that work with your energy state? What else can you do with it? Are you doing it on one side? Are you doing it on both, right? Circular to linear, linear to circular. And you're going to find, I think, that that's going to open up more opportunities, and it's going to widen your ability to examine, to look at, and to understand what it is you're doing with this. Because not only do we have to be able to do the skill, but we need to understand the skill. And then beyond that, be able to articulate the skill. So that is my ramblings for today. Thank you so much. I'm Jam, Supersonic Studios. And as I always say, practice, stay safe.